everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Mickey if you're new here, and today we are going to do a day in the life video. I'm starting off today at home. This is one of my work from home days, and I turn my shower on and then go gather everything up because it takes forever for my hot water to reach my shower. Our hot water tank is on the opposite side of our house from our master bedroom, so it takes a while to get our water warmed up. So I have a job off the farm where I work in the office 2 days a week and I work from home 3 days a week. This is obviously one of my work from home days. So here I am just combing out my hair, gotten dressed, and I'm going to kind of get ready a little bit to start the day. Generally, I don't have to be on camera, but occasionally I am on camera for some of my calls, so I'm going to put just a little bit of makeup on. I don't really wear a lot. A little bit of powder, some blush, a little bit of eye makeup. I typically don't wear mascara, or at least I don't wear it very often because my eyes are so watery that I usually end up with black spots running down my face. So on this day, I don't think that I actually put any mascara on. But I'm going to go ahead and finish getting ready, and then I'm going to head to the kitchen before I get on my computer. So I used to drink coffee every morning. I love coffee. Coffee, unfortunately, the older I've gotten, does not love me. So I have had to switch to tea. Occasionally I will drink coffee. If I'm out of town, sometimes I'll drink a coffee. As long as I don't have very much, I'm okay. But today I'm just filling up my Keurig, and I'm going to make me a cup of tea. And once my tea is ready, then I will take it and my cell phone, and I will head into my office so that I can start my workday. So our house has this really cool little butler's pantry, and so that's where all of our coffee supplies are, and it works out really nice. It stays hidden that way. Oh, okay, so before I actually go into my office, we've got some eggs. These are silky eggs here in the incubator. I think we're about at the end of this incubation cycle. So first thing in the morning, I go and I get some more water. You have to keep the reservoirs in this incubator full of water. That's what will make sure that the humidity along with the temperature will stay high enough to help incubate your eggs as if they were sitting under the mama chick. So I'm just going to fill these little reservoirs up so that I can make sure that these eggs will hatch. And the last time I candled them, all 10 of them did seem to have a chicken developing in them. So we'll see how it goes when these start to hatch. And yes, we've got 3 days left before these should begin hatching. So the next thing I'm going to do upstairs is I have my little grow station here. I've got some celery starts that I'd been growing out for a few weeks, and then I've got my fall garden plants that we started together a few days ago, a week ago, I don't remember exactly, but I typically bottom water these. So I've got some broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, and peas, and then I have some more lettuce starts that I've got that I'm going to go plant out once I've got those going. So before I start my day, my work day, I will also go ahead and go up and get all of these watered. And you can see there I just lift up the tray and pour some water underneath there, and it will suck the water up. And then sometimes I will also use my little sprayer to mist the tops of them. I don't do this on this day because my sprayer is downstairs. I used it to water out in my green stalk, and I had not brought it back upstairs yet. I had not brought it back upstairs yet. So I'm just watering these all from the bottom. You can see, well, I don't know if you can see, on the right-hand side, I have a little fan there that's blowing across those to give them the sensation of being outside in the wind. All right, so now here's my office. I'm going to head in here. You can see that I have two setups. The monitor and computer on the left-hand side is my personal computer, and the one on the right-hand side with the two monitors is my work setup. So usually first thing in the morning, I'll come in and I get both computers going. So my work computer takes a little while to boot up, so I usually start it first. And then I'll go ahead and log into my personal computer. I will check my email, check my YouTube stats, see if there's anything that I need to do on my channel. Maybe I'll check my bank account. And I'll do that while my work computer is booting up, which you can see on the right-hand side. You can see my laptop starting to boot up there. And then once it gets to a point where I can log in, then I switch over there and log in to my work computer. So then once I log in, I have to wait for all of the software and all of the applications to kind of boot up and become available so that I can log in. Or not so I can log in, so I can get all of my applications opened up. So here you can see I've got everything, or I'm in the process of opening everything up. I've got Teams, I've got my email, my timesheet application, and some of the other products that I use throughout the day while I'm working with project managers or other project staff to help them with their projects. One of the things I do on my work computer first thing in the morning is open up my calendar and see what kind of meetings or what my schedule is for the day before I get started so that I don't forget what might be coming up that I need to prepare for. So then I had forgotten this morning that I needed to check my blood sugar. I usually try to do that first thing in the morning, and I didn't get it done. So I'm going to come out here, and I'm going to use my little testing kit here, and I'm going to check my blood sugar. At one point a few years ago, I tested one of the continuous glucose monitoring systems. It was a little disc that you just attach to the back of your arm. I've seen some in other places where they attach to your abdomen. This one was on my arm, and it worked really well. Unfortunately, my insurance does not cover it, or it doesn't cover very much, so it's pretty expensive to fill those every month because the one that I was using was a 2-week product. So I went back to the regular just, prick my finger in the mornings, put it in the testing kit, and see how it goes. And it works fine. So usually I take a break in the morning, some point in the mid-morning, to go ahead and go in and dry my hair. I don't always dry my hair. As I've gotten older, the ends of my hair have gotten really dry, but my scalp is still oily, just like when I was a teenager. So I had to put drops in my eye because they've been very sticky lately with all the horrible weather that we've had, the pollen and dust and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and do my hair just so it's done for the day, and then I can move on back to my work. Typically, when I do this, part of the reason I do this is I let it dry by itself for a little while because then it doesn't take me so long to finish getting ready. When I'm going to be working from home, this takes me usually less than 5 minutes to get through this process. So once I get this all done, then I'm going to go ahead and move on back to my work day. All right, so I did go ahead and grab me some ham slices to eat for breakfast this morning because I'm supposed to eat since I'm diabetic and I tend to not do it. I've never really been a breakfast person. So then I realized I had forgotten to take my medicine, so I'm going to go grab that. And then I have this. Oh. So I'm also going to take a couple minutes while I'm in here to get my dishwasher emptied and reloaded. I try to do that first thing in the morning before I go log on. This morning I was running a little bit late, partly due to filming. It just takes a little bit longer when you've got to move the camera around. But I try to get this done. If I've run the dishwasher the night before, we don't typically empty it at night. I try to do it first thing in the morning when I'm home so that it's empty for the day and so we can load it then later on as I cook dinner, or if I am making something that I'm filming, then I've got a clean dishwasher to use. So once I've got the dishwasher all emptied and reloaded, then I'm going to go ahead and feed my sourdough. I have this big jar of sourdough. It was a lot fuller. It was about twice as full as this. I just recently did a bunch of sourdough discard recipes, trying to use some of it up. But I do have some other things coming up that will use quite a bit of sourdough, so I want to keep this container going. So I'm going to go ahead and feed it. I think I normally put about 120 to 125 grams of flour and water in here. And I do weigh my sourdough starter and my ingredients when I'm using sourdough. I've had the best luck once I started weighing it. So there I've added my water. I'm going to put everything away and just give that a good stir and then put the lid back on it. And so here I am back at my desk, and I've also got some additional breakfast here. I'm probably finally at a point where I'm getting hungry.
So I'm getting ready to head to the bank to drop off some paperwork. Since my husband works outside, he's not generally close to our house or to our bank. And I am working from home today. So I just messaged my boss, told her I was going to run up to the bank. So that is one of the benefits of being able to work from home, is that if I need to do something like this, I usually have the availability to do it. So I'm going to get my temperature situated here before I head off. And all right. My husband was texting me. Okay, so I'm going to head to the bank and drop off these papers, and then I'm going to come back and get back to work. Also, I just took a look at my gas gauge, and I probably should get gas while I'm out, or I might be walking home. All right, that was fast. 30 seconds. Now I gotta get gas so I don't have to walk home. Yikes. Gas here at my favorite gas station here in town went up 18 cents a gallon since the last time I drove past here a couple of days ago. Holy cow. This makes me very glad I only need to go into my office a couple of days a week. All right, headed back home and back to work. All right, I'm back home. It's really too bad I have to work today because it is beautiful outside. I think it's supposed to be hot later, but right now it's gorgeous. But that's okay. Into the garage and back to my desk I go.
And actually, before I ended up going into the house, I decided I should go ahead and get my garden sprinkler going. It's been extremely hot and dry here, and so I've been trying to water my garden pretty regularly on the days that I'm home. I have one of those sprinklers that you can control the pattern that the area that it hits with its spray. And so right now when I'm trying to water everything, I set it on a completely circular spray and start it at one end of the garden, and I let it run for a little while, and then I go out and I move it, and it usually takes about 3 or 4 cycles to get the entire garden watered. So sometimes I might only get part of it watered in one day, and I do the rest the next day. But you can see the cracks in the ground there are just horrid. Our fence posts have started coming loose because of it. But so then I always go and check and make sure that I've got the sprinkler sitting where I want it and that it's hitting the things that I want. All right, so it's lunchtime, and on this day I am working on some crochet projects that I've started and making some pot holders. So I've got a bunch of little pieces there in that bag. And I'm working on those and catching up on some of my favorite YouTubers, their most recent videos. And lunchtime just varies. So on this day, like I said, I'm crocheting. Other days I may film or edit some of my videos. Sometimes I will run to the store and do my shopping during lunch. It just depends on what I have going on and what may need to be done, and sometimes just how I'm feeling. Sometimes I'm just tired and I will just spend my lunch hour relaxing, watching videos or reading or playing on my phone. So then once my lunch is over, then I head back to my office and get back to work. And after going through this, I can see that it looks like I didn't really work hardly at all today. I assure you I really did work a full 8-hour day. It's just that watching me do this for 8 hours would be incredibly boring. See, very boring. 8 hours of that would make you just want to start beating your head against a wall. So that's why you don't see me working a whole lot. All right, so my day's done. I've gone out and I've started doing my afternoon chores. So I have collected eggs, fed the chickens that are closest to our house, and now I'm going out to feed the rest of the animals. So you may be wondering about morning chores. My husband typically does the animal chores in the morning before he goes to work. He will feed all the animals, make sure that everybody's got fresh water, and then I handle the afternoon because I'm either home or I get home before. So Elvis, our teenage pin, most of these are the chicks that we either hatched ourselves or I ordered early this spring. I think we got these in April, most of them. And you can see they are incredible pigs. As soon as they see you coming, they just go crazy. We do have one adult hen in this pen as well. We moved her in here when she was broody, and we moved her in here because she was broody and she didn't want to sit on her eggs and we kept running her off. So I moved her in here with about 5 eggs. She sat on them faithfully for 3 or 4 days, and then she decided she was done. So I just left her out here until she finally started laying again, which she did start laying, and she's been laying for several weeks. And then now at this point it's been about 4 or 5 days. Now she is one of our older hens. I think she is 3. So I'm trying to decide if she's just laying someplace weird, hiding them, or if she's just at the end of her cycle and isn't going to be laying very many. Full disclosure, a few days later she started laying pretty regularly again. So I don't know if it could have just been the heat, I'm not sure, but she seemed to be doing fine out there, so we just left her.
Well, that wasn't very smart of you, was it? No, back up. Back up. Back up. Back up.
So our little buckling here was trying to get over because he thought I had food, and he got his head stuck in the gate.
What did you do,
And then
Bailey?
my older girls
Move.
are so jealous that I can't touch any of the babies without
Move.
them being right on top of me.
Move.
So I was afraid they were going to get over there, and we are not ready for them to be bred. So the pen on this side, or the shelter on this side, actually has a gate. So I tricked them into going in there and locked them in so I could take care of this poor little buck that here in a minute is going to also have one of his front legs stuck through the gate.
I'm coming. You're okay.
So I had to actually open the gate to be able to get him loose.
You okay?
And they're babies. We've only had them a few weeks, and so they're still pretty skittish. The buck is less skittish than the weather, but they are still a little bit afraid of us. But he really, really wants to be on that other side of the pen because he thinks that's where all the food is, which is not true. Obviously, they have their own food. So now that I've gotten him loose, I'm going to go ahead and let the other girls back out. We have a new baby doling over there, and the older girls, like I said, are very jealous, and so we cannot touch her while they're around because if we do, then they'll start being mean to her, headbutting her and running her off. And so she is starting to kind of hold her own a little bit, but we try not to cause any of the jealousy to rear its head. So then after I've made sure all of the animals have been fed and I've collected the eggs, then I usually come over here and check my green stalks. So it looks like on this day I've got a few cherry tomatoes that were ready to be picked. I also have some chamomile. I've been trying to pick every day because I just have that one little section of chamomile. So I pick a little handful every day and I put it on my counter to dry. And hopefully by winter I will have enough to make a few cups of tea over the winter. I won't have enough for the whole winter, but that's okay. Anything that I have now is more than I had before. So I will go ahead and get all that picked, and then I'll take it in. I've got a little paper towel on my counter where I just spread those out and let them dry for a few days, and then I put them into a mason jar with one of those plastic screw top lids. So while I was working, I hear the goats squawking again, and I look over, and of course, you can see there Maxwell has decided to get himself stuck in the gate again. So I ended up having to swap their sides of the pen. So I put the boys over on this side, which is where they were always supposed to be, and I put the girls over on their side where the little shelter has their names on it. But it was pretty comical.
Whew. It is muggy out there. All right, so we're gonna have some leftover grilled chicken tonight. I'm gonna make it into a salad or have it with the salad, whatever you wanna say. So I'm gonna get some stuff cut up, get it all with the dressing on it, and stick in the fridge so when my husband gets home and he's ready, we can go ahead and eat. I did this lettuce I washed the other day, put it in my salad spinner, and then wrapped it in paper towels and put it in that baggie that I had it in the refrigerator, so it is clean. Okay. So I've got to go get some more ingredients for a salad, so I'll be right back. So this is the smallest jar of corn that I have, and I don't need this whole thing. So I'm just gonna dip some out. And I'll put the rest in the refrigerator, and we can have it tomorrow or the next day with whatever we have for dinner. Same with our beans. We don't need a whole lot. Oops. So we'll figure out something to use these for. In there, let me think. Lettuce, corn, beans, tomato, and then the dressing. Let's see, what am I going to make that in? All right, so we're going to do some lime juice and some honey. Chop up some cilantro. This is some freeze-dried cilantro, oops, that I have. And it really kind of just crumbles, the freeze-dried, but just in case, I don't want any big stems in there. I want them chopped up. I might add a little more. Okay. And then, what else do I need? Then we're going to put some olive oil in it. That is probably enough for the amount of salad that we're going to have. So I'm just going to shake this up. Whoa, maybe I won't because it's spraying everywhere. This little container actually goes with my immersion blender. Rinsed off my bean spoon, and I'm just going to give this a little taste. That's pretty good. I think I need a little salt. Ooh, yummy. That's really good. That's it. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna pour this dressing over the salad mixture. I'm gonna go ahead and stir that all together so that that dressing can start kind of soaking into the lettuce and corn and beans. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and slice up our chicken. I've got 4 little breast pieces here that were cooked with a similar marinade, or not marinade, with a similar spice topping. And then before we eat, I'm just gonna warm this up just enough that it doesn't have, that it's not cold. Not too long, since it's already cooked. I don't want it to get super dry. And then we will add this chicken to the salad mix and throw some cheese in there, mix it all up, and that'll be our dinner. Put the chicken back in the fridge. So now all we have to do is wait for Joe to get home, and when he's done watering the animals and whatever else he's going to do tonight, and then takes his shower, I'll go ahead and heat up that chicken. We'll add the cheese to our salad, mix it all up, and we'll be ready to eat. So it was beautiful this morning. I was right, it did get hot. It is so muggy out, and there is supposed to be rain coming tonight. I don't want to play with your bone, puppy. There's supposed to be rain coming like during the middle of the night, like midnight, 1, whatever. But the air is so soupy, it feels like it's already damp. And from inside the house, it's gotten really dark out. And from inside the house, I thought it was already raining because the air is so heavy with moisture that it looked like raindrops. I keep hearing the goats squawk, and I think that he's gotten himself caught again, but he has not. He's just very vocal. He's the most vocal of our 5 goats. And the baby girl that we just brought home last weekend or the weekend before, I don't remember when that was, I think it's been 2 weeks. When she makes noise, it's really high and squeaky, and it's so adorable. But my older goats, the 2 that we got last year, are so incredibly jealous. If we try to pay any attention to either of the males, or especially if we try to pay attention to the new baby girl, Mia, they do not like it. They will come running over to us trying to knock her out of the way, and then if we don't leave, they'll start headbutting her and pushing her around. She is getting better about kind of standing her ground now, though. They don't push her out when they're trying to eat. But Maxwell's just out there squawking away. I thought he was, from inside it looked like he was on the other side of the fence again, but he's not. It's hard to see that fence from that far away. So hopefully we don't come out tomorrow and find him stuck in the gate again.
So my husband is home and showered, and we have put together our bowls of salad, and looks like he's also cut some of the sourdough bread that I had. And so we're going to go ahead and just get our dinner eaten. And we have really developed this bad habit of eating in the living room while we watch TV. It's just the 2 of us, and so we tend to just sit right where we are and eat. I really need to get us some TV trays because some things are not really that easy to eat from your lap. The salad is okay, but we've also tried to eat other things that I end up spilling on myself. But this is our typical evening. Sometimes I will film dinner for a video, or I may make something else that I'm filming for a video that I have coming up, either before he gets home or after dinner. Sometimes in the late afternoon, evenings, I will go work in the garden as well. On this day, it is, like I said, it's so very hot, and I'd watered earlier, so we're just going to spend the evening relaxing, enjoying our dinner, and watching some of our TV shows that we like to watch in the evenings. And so then it looks like Joe has gotten another serving of dinner, and I am back working on my crochet projects. And so we will spend the rest of the evening here probably. Sometimes Joe will take the dog for another walk later in the evening. Sometimes we'll go sit outside, although, like I said, not today. It's way too hot. But we will just stay here enjoying each other's company until it is time to get ready for bed. And so Joe typically gets tired really early since he works out in the heat. So he is already laying down. And so I've gone in to wash my face and put my creams on it, all those normal face things that you need to do in the evenings before you go to bed. And I do have to say I'm not really that good about washing my face every night before I go to bed. Sometimes I'm really good, other times I'm not. Today just happened to be a day where I was good about it. And so the next day after this where I'm filming is actually an in-office day for me. And so that's one of the reasons that I washed and dried my hair today as well, so that it will be easy for me to fix in the morning and will not take as much time. So I am going to go ahead and spray it with just a little bit of dry shampoo so that it's ready in the morning. Since I have a 45-minute drive, I try to get ready as quick as possible in the mornings. So there you can see Joe's already curled up and sound asleep, and I'm just going to lay there and play on my phone for a little while. Sometimes I read on my phone. Sometimes I play games. Sometimes I watch videos. I think tonight I'm actually playing a game. There's a jigsaw puzzle app that I really enjoy. And so I'll lay here for a little while playing on my phone until I am ready to go to sleep. And then I will go ahead and just get everything ready. Set my alarm so I don't oversleep in the morning. And then I am just going to go ahead and go to bed as well. Looks like Joe's rolled over a little bit there, but he is still asleep. And that is my day.